Prior joining the private members club, so the Army and Navy club, as you mentioned earlier, I was working for a big Marriott hotel. I felt like for how much I was learning and it was a good experience, there was something missing. Coming from an island, a small island like Sicily, we are quite strong on community and sense of belonging, and I was missing the relationship that you could build with the clientele. Hence how I ended up at the Army and Navy club. However, I worked for the Army and Navy for 7 years, and after 7 years, I felt like I was missing something. I needed to be challenged again. I was more on my comfort zone, and I needed to further my career as well. So then through the CMA networking, I met with Mark. We were talking about options for my future. And fun fact, I didn't remember that actually Mark is the CEO who announced that I won the job Purdue bursary years back. So he read my assessment at that time. So yeah, then I got offered a job in here, and here I am now. Yeah, so I moved to UK over 10 years ago now. The main goal, it was to just learn the language because I couldn't speak a word of English. So I came here, studied for a bit, and then go back home. However, I realized after 6 months being in UK that in Italy you didn't have the same opportunity, work opportunity that you have in UK. So I decided to go back and started my career in UK. However, there was a time, possibly after a couple of years that I was in the Midlands, in Birmingham specifically, that I started to miss friends and family, my culture, and I'm quite weather sensitive. So obviously, the the weather was a big factor for me. However, one of my dear friends, knowing how ambitious I was and still am, recommended, why don't you try London before giving up? Because it will give you way more opportunities, and I'm pretty sure you will love it because it's more European. And it was right. So I never looked back since. So that's how I ended up at the Roehampton in the end. There are quite a few small and big ones. However, I think I must say that the biggest and most recent one is getting the CCM qualification. Yeah, that's for sure, particularly in this industry. Simply because being the first woman in Italy, for me, it's such an honor. And even more importantly, being the fourth woman in Europe. Uh, we work in a male dominated industry. So being able to influence or encourage more women to join the industry and create a path for me means a lot. So yeah, definitely the CCM qualification is one of the biggest achievements. I think we need to start encourage um, the women to from the entry level. We need to kind of find a way to make it feel less intimidated. So possibly we need to try to encourage them to join more courses or seminars or networking to make them realize that it is a job for women too. There is opportunities. Also, I think we do have quite a few strong women leaders in the industry. Possibly we need to take that to our advantage and ask them to speak up more and make it more approachable, less intimidating for this gender. I wouldn't say I use specific strategies. I think what is important is to give a voice, um, empower them, and I think that comes from one of my past experience when I was at my early stage of my career, where one of my managers was using more dictator leadership, and I could see that it wasn't really working. I mean, the team wasn't buying in, they were performing at high level, and I think it's simply because the style used wasn't really the right one. So, possibly because of that experience, I'm not sure, but I think it's that. I definitely value the team feedback. I tend to listen to them a lot, bring their suggestion in place, and try to keep them motivated, particularly, as you said, on a high pressure environment. It's good to listen to them and to thank them, to make them feel rewarded when they had possibly a big event and it was quite tiring. Just a simple thank you makes a big difference. So yeah. I would say be visible, talk to members, because I feel communication is the key. Sometimes I think private members club in general underestimate the power of communication. That's interesting because I think we tend to assume that we know what the members' needs are, maybe because we ran a survey a couple of years ago, or we had some feedback. However, we don't realize, particularly after the pandemic, how dynamic this industry is becoming. And changes are happening and happening fast. So I think the best method is just be visible, talk to them daily, hear what they have to say, because there are changes of circumstances or change of lifestyle that they are impacting their life. Automatically, consequentially, they impact the membership. So yeah, be visible and listen to them. Well, it all started again when I joined the Army and Navy Club, because few years back, I wouldn't even think about it. And I'm very grateful to the club secretary at that stage, Mr. De Souza, because he's the one who encouraged me to join the CMA association, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my future career. And when then I joined the CMA and I found out about the MDP path, that's where it clicked. Okay, now I know what I want to do. I fell in love. So soon after getting my diploma, within 6 months of being a part of the association, I'm someone who is very eager on learning more. But when I realized, okay, I got the diploma, what's next? And I found out that the CCM was the next step, and not many women were part of it. It gave me the additional motivation to go for it, because I wanted to set an example for the industry that if we want and we work hard, it is possible. We can do it. So it was more influencing the people. The journey per se, as you said, it's very challenging. Uh, you mentioned obviously because I sat the exam on a second language. However, because I've been in UK for a while now, for me, while talking to my fellow colleagues, it wasn't mainly the language per se, because talking to native speakers, it was more the terminology used in specific questions, which not necessarily are terminology that you will use on a day-to-day job. So yeah, it was challenging as well. And CMA, I know that is working on it, is providing the right tools to be ready for it. It is a 7 hours exam. There is a lot of learning, and there is a lot of knowledge that you need to go through before sitting the exam. So I think balancing work, studying, and your personal life can be quite difficult. But if you're willing to make sacrifice and work hard, it's something that you will get there. I mean, you will be able to achieve it if you're really willing to put the sacrifice and the hard work in. So yeah. Definitely attending courses, seminars. It doesn't matter if it's face to face, because again, following the pandemic, now we have more online courses. Reach out to your peers, particularly if it's a new subject that is coming into your clubhouse or into your governance. So yeah, seminars, keep yourself up to date with the conferences, and CMAE does very well to provide all those informational tools or opportunities for you to attend and actually try to keep yourself up to date. So yeah, be always ready for something new, something new. As we said, the industry is changing and it's changing fast. So you need to keep at the same pace. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind, and the membership will suffer from it. So I wouldn't say I had a specific mentor, possibly many in a way. And what I mean with that is, again, thanks to CMA, because for someone like me who is very stubborn and proud, asking for help is difficult, is a struggle. So I realized um, there was a time in my career, professional career, where I had difficult times, and CMA helped me to reach out to the right people, so which could be speakers or coaches or mentors, and it helped me a lot. So I wouldn't say it's one person; it was a couple. The way they influenced me in my current development of career is that they made me realize how important it is not to be afraid to reach out and ask for help, because obviously there are people that they have more experience or more knowledge or whatever it is, they are there to help you to to grow professionally or personally. CMA family provides you with a lot of support, and so whenever you need for one subject or another, you know where to go or who to contact, because the network is real. I remember when I started, in every course you go, because I'm someone who likes to learn and learn, so it's not my first time that I always go on courses. Wherever there is an opportunity to learn and then apply it back into the job, I'll always follow it. However, CME, when they say you can reach out and we will be there for you, it is true. They really mean it. And that's something unique. That's why I think the association does so well. So be confident. If I could say something to my young self, don't be afraid, don't feel intimidated. Um, Walking into a room full of strong personality, particularly from the other gender, so male, can be quite intimidating. And being young, unexperienced, but with a lot of passion or will in wanting to learn and improve, what I would say definitely is be confident, keep an open mind, and go out of your comfort zone. So if there is something that makes you feel like you have it in your heart, but you're kind of feeling a bit bad, how can I say that you feel like stepping back simply because, oh, I'm the only woman in the room and you want to be quieter, just don't. Just go for it. So yeah, mainly be confident, go out of your comfort zone and keep an open mind. So yeah. I'm a very ambitious person, so I always find ways to challenge myself, because when I reach a level where I can see I'm doing my job with closed eyes and I'm not excited to wake up and come to work, or I'm not stressed about something, that means I need to challenge myself more. So fortunately in this sense, I'm kind of a self-motivator. However, I'm fortunate enough to be working in an environment, specifically the Roehampton Club, where our CEO, Mark, is someone who is always eager to self-develop and develop people. So for me, it's an inspiration to see what he has done and what he has achieved. And I look up of him. I look up for him.
Look up to him, yeah.
I look up to him. And one day I would like to leave a legacy. So I'm trying to get as much experience, as much knowledge as I can, because I'm passionate about what I do, because I want to provide something for the members and I want to be remembered. As I said earlier, I really would like to leave a legacy. So that's what motivates me more and more. And yes, I just recently got the CCM, but that was a step for something more. So I know already what I want to go for and what I'm aiming for. So there is another step on the horizon and I'm just looking forward to it. So that's how I keep myself motivated.